Hello everyone! Welcome to this Sims 3 house design video. So today I am here in Plymouth Isle yet again, which is a world that I've created completely from scratch. You can check out that series on my channel, but in this video I am working on another house for the world. Now this is part 1 of a 2-part house design video, so part 2 will be coming out shortly after this part in a day or two. So if you're seeing this video anytime in the future, there'll be a link in the description below so you can check out part 2, and there'll also be a end card at the end of the video. But this house I'm calling Indigo Craftsman. It's not like really much of a craftsman style house, but it is kind of an indigo color, so you know, there you go. And this house was built on lot number 40, so there'll be a link in the description below so you can download the house, and there's also going to be a link to a lot map as well in the description. And also you can download the world through a link in the description, so you can check out the description for all of that information. But anyway, here we are. Now this house, like the last one and the one before that, I was trying to build more quickly so they didn't end up being 2-part videos, but here we are. It still took me quite a while to build this house. This house ends up having 4 bedrooms and I think 3 and 2 half bathrooms, so 3 full bathrooms, 2 half bathrooms, and you know, it's like that kind of thing. And the house ends up being 4 stories tall, which was not my original intention, but that's kind of what happened. So with the way the terrain is on this lot, you can see it is quite a steep lot. This house is kind of like right below Daisy Grove, which I did a little while ago. So it's kind of on this hill. And so it's quite a steep hill. And basically I thought, you know, I could make this house like have 2 basement levels because this hill is so, you know, steep. So I ended up doing that. The second basement level, like the farthest down level, is like a little bit below the street height. I would say it's maybe like, I don't know, like a third of the way down into the ground, which doesn't really make sense considering this is kind of like right by the beach, so you probably wouldn't have any part of the house like going below like street level. But you know, it's The Sims, and I wanted to do it. I just felt like, why not? I feel like I can make this house go down 2 levels into the ground, because that's kind of cool, you know, to have that. So that's what I ended up doing here, and it took me a little while to figure it out, to do it quite right. I mean, I knew how to do it, but the main issue is I started with the foundation because I was only intending to go 1 level down, and then I ended up changing my mind, so I had to kind of remove the foundation and replace it with normal walls so I could have the two like level basement, basically, if that makes sense. I mean, you'll see what I'm doing here. It's kind of like the same thing that I do when I build like cliff side houses and that kind of stuff, you know. So you have to kind of do it all out of wall pieces and then use constrained floor elevation to kind of, you know, manipulate those wall pieces to how you want them to be. But yeah, so right here, I'm just kind of, you know, working away at rebuilding the structure of the house using these wall pieces. And of course, they had to deform the terrain, so I had to go through and make some changes to the terrain through this process as well. And I do adjust the terrain as I go along. I don't end up making it, you know, as the law originally was. I kind of raise it up in certain places around the house so it looks a little bit more natural. But overall, it's still like kind of fun to build houses on hills like this. You know, for a while, like a lot of the builds that I was doing for Plymouth Isle were just on flat lots, but now we're kind of moving into the territory here of these, you know, well, the past couple of houses were also on hilly lots. So yeah, it's more fun to build on lots like this. It does take a little more time because you can't just lay down a simple foundation if you want to, like, you know, take advantage of the terrain. But yeah, this house kind of goes down to the ground by 2 levels, has like a main floor and then a second floor, so it's four total levels, which is a lot. It's a big house, and I can't recall the last time I made a house that was 4 stories. I'm sure I have. Well, actually, technically, any 3-story house with a basement is 4 stories. So, you know, was it called? Not Daisy. Daffodil Heights was technically 4 floors then, I guess, in that sense. But this house is a little bit different because instead of being like 3 floors with a basement, it's 2 basements with 2 floors above ground, kind of. So it's a little different. Anyway, this house ends up having, like I mentioned before, 4 bedrooms. 3 of them will be on the second floor, and then 1 will be in the first basement, so not the farthest down one, but the second from the bottom. And that one's kind of more of a guest room. And then on the main floor, there's going to be a living room, dining room, study, and that kind of stuff. But yeah, here you can see in the kitchen, of course. But here you can see I'm still working out the shape of the house. This is kind of why this house took a little bit more time, because it took me a while to get all these walls as I wanted them and to adjust all the terrain and everything. But yeah, there's going to be like this nice wraparound porch with all these windows and stuff out the back of the house for the first basement level. So that's kind of cool, because it's always interesting to me how like you can have on one side of like a floor, you have like, all these windows and it's like overlooking like out over something like high up. And then the other end is like in the ground, like as a basement. I think it's just kind of cool how you can have like levels in the house that kind of work that way. So anyway, you'll see that when we get down to it. But I also left a lot of space unused in the house. So I just ended up not making it part of the rooms that I was making. I just like left it empty and painted it all black floors, black walls, etc., just so it's kind of like a void, like it doesn't look like it's meant to be like a used space. But you could, if you wanted to, go in and add like a couple of rooms back there. I left some space on both of the basement levels just because there was so much just room. As you can see, they're huge. I didn't need to use all that space, so I ended up not using all that space. But you can see here, getting in the stairs, which are pretty simple. They just kind of go down and around. It's three flights of stairs for this house because it is so large. But yeah, you can see it's getting that in right now and kind of adjusting the spacing here. But essentially the very bottom level here is basically just going to be a bonus room, a garage, and then like a half bathroom / laundry room. Here you can see where I'm removing walls to make it, you can see that extra space I have back there. And then a level above that is going to have like another bonus room, kind of like a living room, game room area. And then, excuse me, and then a bedroom and a bathroom. And then the first floor has like your living room, dining room, kitchen, office, and then the very top level has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and another laundry room. So there's 2 laundry rooms in this house, just like the last one. So it's kind of interesting there. Anyway, you can see here, starting with the roof. So basically just, kind of getting around like some lower roofing here. I do make a few changes, I think, to the second floor or top floor of the house, but nothing too drastic. And yeah, here I'm just getting some roofing around this area. So you can see where like that dormer is going to be the kitchen actually. And then the space where I'm putting the roof on now, like that below that will be like the wraparound porch kind of area for the first basement level. Yeah, so here I'm just making some adjustments. I had like a little dormer there in the front, not really a dormer, but like a little bump out there in the front, just, to make it look a little bit more interesting. And here I was getting a roof color. And yeah, also getting in some columns here for this front porch. I do actually raise up the terrain underneath that front porch because right now it just looks like there's too much space underneath, you know what I mean? Like the ground is too low there. So I do adjust that. But yeah, here just getting in some windows and stuff. I don't think I end up having a window underneath that front window like I was trying to do there. I think I end up walling that area off because I raised up the terrain, because here you can see I'm raising up the terrain because it just looked like there was too much of the house just like sticking up above ground, you know what I mean? So I expanded the hill here so it looked like a little bit more natural. I think I actually do it even more so than I have here. I make it even taller, I think the terrain even higher up, because I don't know. Yeah, here you can see I'm adjusting like this wall so that I can increase the height. Just, I don't know, it felt like there was just like too monolithic, you know what I mean? Like the wall was just like went down so far and it just looked a little strange. So here I'm just adjusting the hill. And yeah, now you can see it looks a little bit more natural now and a little bit less crazy. But yeah, I guess tearing out those roofing bits there and redoing it. I don't know why I did that. That was very unnecessary, but I did it anyway. So yeah, there you go. So just doing those final touches to the roof here, and I think that's pretty much it for the roof. So we're going to start out the layout, I guess, at this point, so you kind of see it all come together. I've already kind of explained what each room is, but now you'll kind of see what each room is as I put them together. But yeah, basically on the left side is going to be the living room and the study behind it. On the right side is the dining room, the kitchen's in the back, and there's like a little half bathroom there in between the study and the kitchen. And then on the second floor, we have the master bedroom in the front, one of the bedrooms in the back, and then another bedroom on the right side. And then down here in the basement, we have a bedroom I just kind of carved out there, and I added a bathroom in as well, and a closet right there. And then the main open space will kind of be the bonus room. And then down at the very bottom, we have, of course, the garage and the other bonus room. So right now, I'm going to get in the front door here. So you can see just putting that in. Yeah, so it's getting in that front door. And then also some windows. Of course, I went with more kind of craftsman style windows. I mean, there's not really too much about this house that is craftsman style per se, besides the windows I picked, which are kind of more so. But yeah, you can see getting those in here, kind of around those main areas. And then also getting some more roof adjustments and some more windows. And yeah, and then down here you can see this is where I have all those large windows, or where they're all going to be for that kind of bonus room area. I only put a few in for now, but there will be some more. And I'm also going to expand the kitchen here, I think, or maybe not. I thought I did. I guess we'll see. I also added some sliding glass doors. You can see actually how far down the kind of garage area is from the street, which of course isn't terribly realistic considering that, this house is right by the ocean, so you probably wouldn't want anything below like, street level, but it is what it is. And yeah, here I'm just adding some stone on the house. I'm using the stone that I like to use in a lot of my houses. It's from Ambitions, I believe. So just kind of getting that on. A lot of the windows in this house are from Pets. And like the front door, I think, is from University Life. And then something else. What else did I use? I used some other window. I actually think, is that it? Yeah. Oh, I think it's just Pets windows, basically, with the University Life front door. And yeah, here I'm just kind of getting in these little roof areas here to kind of go on top of this. You'll see what I'm doing in a second. There we go. So you can see, so the roof kind of is a little bit more seamless there with those kind of bump out areas. And it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So here's getting in some contrasting siding that I'm putting kind of on those main areas that kind of stick out on the front and back, just for like a little bit of like a pop of like contrast, because otherwise like the stone is very dark, and you'll see I'm putting on right now the blue siding, hence the name Indigo Craftsman. The blue siding is quite dark as well, so having like that pop of white, or it's not even white, it's like light gray on the front of the house, kind of adds a little bit of contrast. I mean, of course, all the trim and stuff is also white as well, which helps too with the contrast and kind of makes things look a little bit better, but that was the idea. Anyway, I was doing some adjustments with it, maybe, but then I didn't anyway, so I kind of just left it. And I also added like some paneling, or like kind of decorative trim stuff up here in the eaves and kind of in the frieze here. So you can see I'm figuring that out right now. And I can't remember which wallpaper I went with. I think I went with the bottom one for the whole thing. But yeah, just like for a little bit of a decorative eave there. So, it looks nice that way. I don't think I actually went with that. Or maybe I did. I can't remember what I did. I guess I went with it looking like that. But, it adds like a little bit of extra detail to the house, which is nice. Actually, maybe I didn't. I think I went with the other texture, maybe. Oh, yeah, I did. Anyway, adds a bit of nice extra detail to the front, using those various kind of texture, or like trim options and stuff. So yeah, anyway, recoloring all the windows here. So I was going through and making them all white, which is very nice. And also, of course, putting in the chimney. There's going to be 2 fireplaces in this house, one in the living room, and then there's going to be one in the master bedroom. So yeah, those are the 2 like main fireplaces, are the only 2 fireplaces really. Here I'm adding in some, what do you call that? Railings. Yes, railings, very good. And I'm going to put in some stairs that kind of allow you to get to that like wraparound porch area from the street level. So there'll be like some steps that go up there. So it kind of acts as like an exit there. You can get out of the house like a back door sort of thing from both basement levels. So they kind of, let you off at different parts of the hill. But anyway, here just recoloring a lot of the windows and stuff. Here's where I get in those stairs. So just trying to get that to work out. Didn't want to do it, but then eventually it let me do it. So yeah, those are the stairs right there that kind of come down. There's also some more on the other side in the back here. So yeah, there's a couple ways to get, out of the house, like a different back door. And then there's, of course, like the back door that's at the very bottom level, and of course the front door. So, every level in the house has like a exit except for the top level. But anyway, here is getting in the siding still getting that around the house. So yeah, it's a different color. I don't tend to do blue houses, not that I recall, or at least definitely not like dark colored houses, like dark blue or something. It's a little different. So anyway, here getting in some columns for this porch here. So I'm going to recolor those, I think, at a later time, probably in part 2, at the end as I get into landscaping. But yeah, just doing that, getting in some just decorative columns there for those balconies. And things were like a little bit funky at this point with the constrained floor elevation. For some reason, the whole level got kind of a little messed up. I don't really know what happened with that, but I kind of adjusted it, so I think it's fine now. And I did change out the front stairs to fix all the stairs after I kind of re-leveled everything. So yeah, but anyway, just getting in some different stairs there, or replacing the stairs. Also, then of course, when I re-leveled everything, it messed up these like little what do you call it? These like little freezes here. So I had to lower them back down, then replace the roof, and then do the same thing again, of course. But anyway, it's all good. And I also changed up the front. I know I changed the front stairs so they don't go straight. I guess we'll see. I think it's like a L shape instead in the end. Here I do actually expand the kitchen a little bit, which I kind of knew I did. So I thought that made the roof look a little bit better right there. So yeah, just expanding that, adding some windows in for the kitchen there, which is nice. And yeah, so I think that's pretty much it though for exterior colors and everything and all that kind of stuff. Here I'm just going to create the driveway that kind of just goes down, kind of slopes down to the garage door. And I think that's pretty much it now for all that sort of stuff. But at this point, I'm going to start putting in the doors and archways and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, also I changed out that kind of funky angled area, so it's just like a more simple angled wall. And here I'm getting in some various doors that kind of go between the rooms. The half bathroom on the first floor here connects to both the kitchen and the study, so it's kind of like a pass through. I know some people say that it's not realistic to have bathrooms next to kitchens, but yeah, it's kind of common. So I mean, like, at least my house, there's a bathroom right next to the kitchen, and like other people who I know, in their houses, they have bathrooms like right next to the kitchen too. So I mean, it's fairly common. So before you go and say that it's not, it sometimes is the case. So and also it just worked out best with this floor plan. So I mean, I was just gonna go with it. I wasn't gonna redo everything just so the bathroom would be far from the kitchen. But anyway, so here you can see, got the bathroom right there. So yeah, it's in the kitchen more specifically. That's the thing I got in right there is the kitchen. And getting in a dining table in the dining room here. So, pretty big dining room for sure. Also a big kitchen. You can see there's a nice like in-kitchen table, kind of like a little table there. So, it's like the formal dining room is not the only dining room, which is good. And here I'm getting in the fireplace. So we have the fireplace for the living room, and then the fireplace for the master bedroom as well. So those are both there, which is good. But yeah, also getting in just some more touch-ups and stuff, I think. I don't even know why I'm like, what am I doing? I don't know why I like literally just deleted and undid all the roof, but there you go. I guess I decided to do that. So anyway, now we are moving into just like I'm basically just kind of putting in some like objects, and I'll come back and kind of finish things up later. But that's the master bathroom right there. So you have a standalone tub, separate shower. And then over here is another bathroom. So yeah, pretty simple. And then there's also the upstairs laundry room up there as well. And yeah, there's another bathroom right here on the kind of basement level, the first basement level. And yeah, but I think that's pretty much it for all the placeholder items. I guess we'll start getting into doing some rooms fairly soon. So yeah, here's the living room, getting in a couple couches and some chairs. All the rooms in this house are pretty good size, as you can see. They're all quite large. So you have like a large living room, large dining room. The office is very large. The bedrooms are all a good size, except the smallest one is kind of small. But it is what it is. Anyway, getting in the half bathroom there. And yeah, also a TV in the living room. And what else? I think for the most part, that was all. I guess I'm still putting placeholder objects in. Well, not really placeholder objects, but they are the objects I end up keeping. But I just put them in without recoloring anything yet. Yeah, there I made the stairs kind of an L shape. I thought it looked a little bit nicer, even though it did mean there are now more steps up to the house than there were the other way. It's fine, no worries. So yeah, there you go. And also getting in the wood porch material here is the wood decking. So getting that around the house there, and also recoloring the stairs and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of jumping around all over the place really with this house, I guess. But yeah, also recoloring the railings And what's next? I guess we'll see. I think in this part, I do finish the kitchen and the dining room. No, I don't think I finished the dining room. I finished the kitchen, I think the bathroom, and that's pretty much it for the interior stuff. Most of it is all this kind of building that I'm doing. So yeah, like a lot of building with this house. But you know, it's the way it is. Anyway, I think we're kind of done with all that. Oh, no, we're doing rock walls. Yeah, like I said, I really jumped around with doing things at this house. I didn't really stick with any one thing. So yeah, you can see putting in some rock walls there for the steeper parts of the terrain that I couldn't really smooth out. So I'm doing that here as well by the garage door. So, you know, nice decorative rock wall right there and kind of coming along here. So there you go. Very nice. And I didn't actually end up putting one by the door there. I just kind of smoothed out the terrain. Also getting in the driveway here. So there's the driveway. There you go. Very nice. And that, you know, slopes down just a little bit. Also putting a pathway there from those stairs to the street and also doing the front walkway as well. So it seems. So there you go. That's nice to have. And what else? Let's see. I really don't know what I'm going to do next. It's very interesting to watch. I'm getting a little side patio. Oh, I guess we are finally going to finishing the rooms inside. So yeah, the living room I think is the first room that I do. So actually I do the living room, or maybe I do the kitchen. I honestly can't remember. I think I can't remember if I do the living room or not in this part. I guess we'll see. But anyway, so yeah, I was going to go with dark blue for the walls in here, but you can see there's a weird glitch with the wall material that I'm using where like one half is darker than the other half, so it looked less apparent with a lighter color, so I went with a lighter color. And oh, actually we're just painting the walls there. We're moving on now to put the walls in the study here. So I think I went with like a nice blue color for the study though, so you'll see that in a moment. Yeah, there we go. And I'm getting in the blue right about now. Yes, there it is. And in the hallway here, getting in a different color. I think I went with a grayish color in the hallway, so there you go. And yeah, so that's fun. And the kitchen, we're going to get in some form of tile behind the cabinets and stuff as like a backsplash, but not like on the part where the wood, like the wood paneling is. I left that kind of wood paneling where the cabinets weren't, so I only kind of used it as a backsplash behind the cabinets. But anyway, here you can see getting in a nice light. It's always good, so I can see what I'm doing in this room. And I'm going to recolor all the stuff that I have in here. So getting in the tile behind the counters, and I'm also going to use the same thing on the countertops as well. And here it's going to kind of start going in and recoloring everything in here so it all kind of looks nice. So yeah, recoloring the cabinets and stuff, doing the backsplashes, and recoloring the counters. I also got in some under cabinet lighting in this kitchen as well, which you'll see in a few moments, which is nice because it's kind of a darker room because there aren't so many windows, because it's kind of like at the back of the house here where there's a lot of roofing and stuff going on, so I couldn't really put in huge windows. It's like a small window over the sink and an even smaller window over the oven, and then you have like that dormer window, so you know it's not like super bright, but it's, you know, the under cabinet lighting kind of helps with that, and you know, I think it makes it look a little bit nicer. So let's see when I get that in. I think that's going to be fairly soon. But here I'm still recoloring some of the stuff in the kitchen, so some of the appliances and things. And oh yeah, here we go with the under cabinet lighting. So just doing that. I just use these lights from late night and kind of position them at the right height, and then just you know, copy and paste them around and stick them there against the wall under the cabinet. So you can see how bright it is in here now, which is nice. Also getting a little electrical box outside. And what else? Some curtains there over the window, over the dormer window, just recoloring those. I think I also got in some counters underneath that window as well, just kind of extra counter space. Also getting in a bit of art there, which is nice. And little flowers on the table. And what else? Yeah, there's some cabinet or counters there in the dormer as well, so a little bit of extra storage space, I imagine. There's also a little phone in there and a little mat here, a little rug in front of the kitchen sink, which is nice. So just recoloring that here. So yep, doing that and going a little flower pattern. And I'm also going to probably get a rug underneath the dining table and put in a few details and things in the kitchen and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we're getting pretty close to the end of part 1 here. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you consider subscribing. If you like the video, make sure to give it a like. And as always, I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments below. Now, part 2 is not out immediately after this video. It's going to be a day or two after, so you know, make sure you subscribe to get updated when part 2 comes out. And if you're watching this video anytime in the future, you know, like, you know, anytime basically after the first couple days of this video being out, you'll be able to find part 2 linked in the description and also as an end card at the end of the video. And of course, you can download the house. There's a link in the description below. So, you can place this lot on lot number 40 in Plymouth Isle if you have the world. If you don't have the world, you can download the world. There's a link in the description for that as well. But yeah, here I'm just going to do in the half bathroom here that's on the first floor. So it's pretty much the final room I'm going to do in this part before we head on to part 2 and do all the other stuff in the house. So all the other furnishing and the landscaping, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you next time.